All right, good morning. Holy crap. I do not know what that was. All right, give me a moment while I repost the stream links everywhere. Give me 1 second, everyone. My bad. We're back. I think I might have gotten rugged for playing the MK songs. I'm not going to lie. Which is wild because I've played Drake before on stream. And you don't get rugged for Drake? I don't know. It said policy violations. It might have been the joke I made. I don't know what it was. Did someone report? Could have been anything, man. I have no idea. Oh, well, we vibe. Who cares? I just need 1 minute to repost the stream link everywhere. Let me post it in Discord and Twitter, and then we'll get started. I'm sorry about that, everyone. All right. That's taken care of. Let's repost it on Twitter. Quote. I think we're good. Okay. We just lost the entire viewer base, but we're not going to stress about it. Let's see. We went from like 70 viewers to 20. Sad about it, but hopefully we can get everyone back with the fresh links. If not, so be it. You guys know that when I started streaming, I don't even know when my first live stream was, but the first stream I did, there was only like 20 people, and I streamed for 3.5 hours, and I had an amazing time. Like legit, I like went through I think like every coin on the Binance perps list because I hadn't traded or looked at markets like closely in about 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So I was like, let me go through literally every chart. And I think this was like September of last year or August. It was that really like low volatility downtime at like 25, 26K. And I streamed to 20 people for like 3.5 hours. So every week since then has been, or like every stream since then has been a consistent grind up in viewers. And I think last week we averaged like 85 and peaked at 110. But averaging 85 for a stream is wild. So we're stoking regardless. How's everyone doing? We're so back, dude. I don't know what happened there. I think it's one or two things, right? It's either the joke I made, but that has to be like reviewed, and it wasn't even that bad of a joke. I don't know what that would have been. It had to be the music. It couldn't be anything else, but it honestly doesn't make sense to me that we would rug because of music, because like I said, I've been playing Drake on the stream and I don't have monetization settings on. Like my channel can be monetized, but I don't have it set up for monetization. Can we just double check real quick how the audio is? Is the background music all right? Too loud, too low? That's crazy. That's never happened before. That's gonna suck for the people rewatching. Maybe you can't talk about Trader Main without his permission, dude. That had to be it. That had to be it. My guy owns YouTube, dude. Nah, but what an inspiration Main is, dude. I think coming from CT and crossing the barrier of Twitter to YouTube and growing your channel to like, I don't know how many he has, 50,000 subs. Him and EXO both have like 50,000 subs, primarily from their Twitter audiences, bringing them to YouTube. And that's massive. That's so hard to get people to click on to click on YouTube streams from Twitter. So that's like big shout out to those guys. Obviously, some of the best traders in our space too. All right, damn, I'm all thrown off now. What was I saying though? Kind of sucks for the people that have to watch it back. They're not going to be able to jam out with us. But I just kind of assume people skip that part anyways and just go right to the stream. Also, shout out Wusong. I don't know if he's in the audience, but he does timestamps for the stream. So if you're just tuning in on recording, feel free to jump around to any part that you find interesting. I won't be offended. But yeah, on the docket today, we have a couple things. First of all, should we start off with the MacBook giveaway? Should we start off with that? Or should I leave that on for a little bit later? Maybe wait a few minutes. Wait for people to stream back in. Oh man. Right off the bat, I just want to say I'm kind of optimistic on the markets. I'm not turbo bearish. I'm like extremely opportunistic. And if I just show, like, we just start off with ETH here. Here's the first thing. Like, that's your bearish view, right? We lose the 4 hourly 200. It looks junky. It looks like we could gap fill down to the daily 100. But if we do this and we find support in here, which feels like, quote unquote, like a generational entry for the next risk on period, 2,900 and swinging 2,800 all the way to all-time highs, feels like it's too good to be true. It honestly feels like too good of a swing. Like, why would they let us have that? Why would they let us have this? Hold on, there's too many things on this chart. This is too good to be true from my point of view. Like, swinging down here, basically we get the trade, the breakout from 25 to 4K, and then just letting us run it back, basically bleed all the way back out to range low, bleed all the way back out to like demand area, weekly trends, and we're just allowed to run it all the way back. I think that's like, I've been looking at this and I'm just going like, that just feels like way too good to be true. So when I look at that, I'm like, I would just slam longs in here. I would throw cash in here, because the invalidation or the, you know, the invalidation for this thesis is literally right here. It's just reaccepting into prior range and losing high time frame trends, in which case we'd probably be risk off or whatever for a very long time. Because that would be like failed breakout. That would be like kind of like a, I guess you could call that like an echo bubble top even, confirmed, right? And I just don't think we're there. I just think there's too many bullish things on the horizon for us to be macro top. So I absolutely do not believe that. And I think it's wild that some people actually do, but everyone's entitled to their, you know, their own opinions. I think we did get some very nice, like, classic top signals. You know, whiff on the sphere was like one of them. You know, the whole on-chain, the meme meta of coins going from basically listing and worth nothing onto, you know, Binance in 24 hours, basically me going to sleep, waking up and seeing a new coin at $1 billion. Like, that is very heated, very frothy market cycle behavior. And you do need to wash out some of that froth. You do need people who made easy money to give it back. There's not enough money for all of us to make it. That's the harsh truth of markets. A lot of people that ran up a lot of unrealized P&L have to give it back. A lot of people that ran up, you know, realized P&L have to chop themselves up and chase the next meme and chase the next gamble and give it back. Money needs to flow back to its rightful owners. That's the reset of the market. And through that, a new risk on period will emerge. And I look at where we are on ETH to, you know, any one of these other local tops that we've had. Sometimes they take months to play out, right? The worst case scenario for me on Bitcoin, I know I have this fractal on here, but we can ignore that, is we're right here. This is, in my opinion, the worst case scenario, is we're in this situation right here. We're going to have to bleed out for like 2 months into the daily 100, daily 200, right? If we can't find a bottom or find a range in here, and we can't break bearish market structure, and we're just going to keep doing bearish retest, we could have a bleeder into like 53. But once again, to me, that just feels like mega opportunity. The place that I went risk on last time was the daily 100 tag. The place that I went risk on last time was flipping the H4 200 after we lost daily 100, right? So just high time frame trend reclaims. The place that I went risk on last year, again, down here at the daily 100. Very, very simple for me and my like high time frame strategy. So, you know, the meme that I keep posting on CT over the past week was the one with Atlas holding the earth. And Atlas in this case is Bitcoin's 4-hourly 200, right? And Bitcoin's 4-hourly 200 is pretty much what's holding the entire cryptocurrency market up right now. And if we lose this and we lose this low, it really does open up kind of another few weeks of grind down and bottoming and arranging and structuring, and then it would take a lot longer. Excuse me, it would take a lot longer to get to those trend continuation new highs. But all in all, one thing I wanted to mention for this stream is something like that. The bearish case that I just mentioned, that route that I just mentioned, is overall the most bullish thing for us to get to crazy prices. If we want to top this bull market, not at 110 or 105 or 90, and we want to top at like 180, 200, if we want to get to those targets, we need to consistently keep testing our daily 100, daily 200, in my opinion. You need to keep having these risk on periods, risk off periods, repricing. You need the market to continue to bid this region and set higher lows so that we have fresh launch pads. And if you guys pay attention, that's what we've done this entire market cycle so far. Since the FTX bottom, that's what we've done. We basically had a risk on phase, caught by the daily 100, risk on phase, caught by the daily 100, risk on phase, deviated below it. Once we didn't cross, right? The daily 100, 200 didn't cross, reclaimed, sent again, right? Tag the daily 100, sent again. So if we do this one more time, and you know where I have it marked out right now is at like 53K. It doesn't have to mean that we're going to 53K, because Bitcoin could do stuff like this, right? It can take its time, right? And by the time it gets lower, these things can catch up, and we can eventually bottom at like 58. So what's the TLDR of all this? I'm very bullishly optimistic. I don't think the market cycle top is in. I don't think 73K is the top for 2024. And I do think that if we get down here, it is a giga-long opportunity. It is long only, long your longs, be bullish, do not be a bitch. We're going to 100K because I think the next time, I think this is the natural front running of the 100K, front running of the all-time breakout, trap buyers at 73. And I'm not gonna lie, I was bullish up here. I was bullish on markets until literally 4-hour trends broke, which by the way gave one of the cleanest signals I've ever seen, where you have a high, a low, basically March is high, March is low, deviate above, break 4-hour trends, put in a point of breakdown, slam below, bearishly backtest the 4-hour trend, and then basically bleed out, right? This is the most textbook thing. If I had to teach someone how to trade trends and ranges and price action 101, this is the screenshot I'm taking, not only on Bitcoin, but on Ethereum as well. It is very rare you get this type of risk off signal. I'm getting a little off topic here, but this is just one of the things I wanted to share with you guys, is how beautiful this was as a risk off signal goes. And you guys can see that, I am optimistically looking for ETH to kind of put in a bottom here, because the way that my brain is working is goes would the market really let us buy 2,900 again on ETH? I don't know. Especially where ETH BTC is, right? I don't know if this is going to hold forever, but the fact that it continues to hold time in and time out at 51, just again and again and again, it's very hard to continue to be, bearish down here until this is completely lost, right? You have such an easy invalidation for ETH. So if there's any sort of relative strength on ETH over the next couple days, it's possible that ETH has put in a bottom, and maybe Bitcoin somehow puts in a lower low. It's just something that I'm thinking about right now. You know, moving parts are very hard to predict, but just something off the top of my head. I think I definitely deviated from what I was originally talking about and just got sidetracked, but we're just gonna run with it. Probably left something hanging. And then the last piece of the puzzle for our risk on like high time frame outlook is total 3, which is our altcoins, our precious altcoin, right? And it doesn't get any cleaner than this. I tweeted this out yesterday. I'll be concerned as far as a market cycle goes if we start accepting below basically what is it, 600 billion, right? We'll call it 600 billion to keep it simple. And our weekly trends. If we accept below these two things, it's going to look really bad. It's going to look really bad. But the beautiful thing is that alts are getting a bounce, and we have leeway. We still, like, from where we are on alts right now, we still have 13, 14, 15% leeway. Excuse me. Sorry about that. We still have some leeway, right? So if we do pull back and we consolidate in this region, it's just going to remind me of this. It's just going to remind me of this exact same consolidation, right? And flipping basically the point of breakdown, right? What do I have highlighted here on green? It's the point of breakdown. Oh, we're getting a bump. Let's quickly rotate here. I had an alert go off there. Let's see this. This is the region I think some of my TPs hit here. If we, you know, the craziest thing, Bitcoin is so close to just breaking the downtrend, right? In a basic market structure point of view, the most basic market structure, right? High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, right? This is the biggest opportunity Bitcoin has to literally just put in a bottom right here and right now, if it wants to. And this is why I'm long on Bitcoin, long on ETH, is just, you have to punt here, especially when you get those classic like bottoming signals where you run a low into the 4-hour 200, right? Hold the 4-hour 200, run that low, get back inside. That gives you an invalidation from a price action perspective, using trends as your kind of guide. And if Bitcoin just starts like pushing, what is this, a couple more percent? Get the tool out. There we go. Yeah, 3-4 more percent. You've put in a macro, you've put in like a higher high. You've basically broke the downtrend. You've rounded off on the bottom. And it all of a sudden looks extremely bullish from where it looked terrible 48 hours ago. Now all of a sudden it looks extremely bullish. So I think there was clear cases 2 times this week, both on Tuesday and yesterday, to go risk on and take those punts, which is what I did. And by the way, we're talking about this in Paragon and stuff. So if you guys, want to see more of how I'm, handling stuff intra-week, I've kind of just moved a lot of that stuff to Paragon since I joined them, instead of just tweeting every single thought like I used to. I pretty much did that since I joined CT, but found a home with Magus and Charlie. Honored to be there and happy to share those kind of things day to day, hour to hour, with Paragon. So here's the one on ETH, right? Simple, same exact thing, like running these like loose lows that we never tagged, breaking local market structure, right? As far as the hourly goes, getting back above. This is your 1 hourly market structure break. Here's your news absorption. This was the candle where the SEC is attacking ETH as a security. Bang, that's another entry. Set a higher low, get trend continuation, right? This is the region where you're looking to put in the bottom, right? This is your 4 hourly breaker. If we come to the 4 hour, right? Here's your up move into your down candle that took outside liquidity, right? There's your breaker. There's your 4 hour breaker. Here's your prior support. Here's your 4 hour breaker. Got back inside, broke 4 hour market structure. Here's where you want to put in a bottom. This is where we are looking to put in a bottom. And if we start accepting back into like 3,500, I think ETH is going to just rip right back up to like 38, 39. And I think the strength of ETH BTC allows ETH to outpump or basically outpace I wouldn't say the strength of ETH BTC. I would say the location ETH BTC is in gives ETH a little bit more juice potentially than Bitcoin. So pretty optimistic. I just want to keep saying the same thing. Optimistic on where we are. All right, let's catch up with chat. Oh man, I missed a lot of stuff. Thanks, man. I don't know what happened, Sam. I don't know, man. You can only speculate. Can you do PEPE, ONDO, and Link? Of course, bro. Hey, Sam, I'm actually kind of bullish on Link here, dude, and I'll explain why. I'll explain the Link thesis. What's up, Caleb? Shout out, Caleb, man. That's like my day one. One of the very first guys, honestly, that I followed on Twitter. I had like 100 followers. I don't even know how I came across him, but he was grinding, man. Grinding TradFi, grinding macro, crypto, basically one-stop shop for everything. Has a very successful newsletter. So shout out, Caleb, man. Very fun to see you grow, brother. Can you explain how 2900 is a demand zone? I don't know what a demand zone is. So basic price action is a counter trend move within a trend, right? So if you have an uptrend and then you have a down leg, basically, you know, red candles, right, into trend continuation, the next time you come back and test the zone, it's going to be demand, right? So this is demand. And then going to ETH daily, right? You have this demand, right? So you have this up move, counter trend area where there was consolidation, a fight between bulls and bears, where bulls eventually won, and then trend continuation. If by some means ETH does revisit these values confluent with weekly trends, in my opinion, that's like a giga-long opportunity, because you'd basically be formulating your plan like this. You'd say, well, that's our low. We basically run this low. We tag demand. We have the high time frame trends in front of us. We've deviated back inside. Here's our deviation. There's our trend tags. There's our demand tags. Here's our giga-long opportunity. We've now double bottomed, and we're basically sending to new all-time highs. This is such a picture-perfect, idealistic, unfathomably good setup that I don't think the market gives it to us. It's too good. It's too good. Like, very rarely do you get things this textbook. I'm already shocked that ETH gave us a 80% rally carrying the 4-hour trend and one risk off signal into a what's it? We got an 80% trend on the 4-hour, consistent with signals within the trend for compounding profits. One time that we closed below it after rounding off on the top, bearishly back tested it, and boom, 20% sell off. I've never, and I said this to Mercury, I think he posted something like this, and I just responded. I like reply guide him yesterday, and I was like, dude, I've never seen it this clean. And he pretty much agreed that it's kind of ridiculously clean this time around. Calling top before halving is quite redacted. Yeah, I agree. The racist coins on yeah, that was pretty bad, man. That's a bad look for us, but whatever. I'm not going to give that any attention. Demand zone is where you demand your money back. Any women in the chat? Only you, Sam. Doc, are we all getting girlfriends? Dude, I hope you find someone. I hope you find someone. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Can't keep reading Sam's chats. Otherwise, I'm going to get kicked off YouTube again. Doge look ready to run. Yeah, man. I'm a fan of the Doge chart. I just don't like how much CT is pushing this randomly. CT is like mega pushing Doge right now. I think it looks great. Man, it is pumping. I missed the last few candles, but for me on Doge, it's pretty much this simple. I know we can this is like semantics, right? It doesn't really matter where you put this. You put this here on the, what are we on, the weekly, on the 3-day, we can adjust this like even cleaner. Damn, where did I have this before? It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. We can call it 16. It really doesn't matter. Who cares? The point being is that once you accept back inside of 16 here, I had it at 19 before. Maybe it's a different chart. I want to see what level I used because it's kind of throwing me off mentally. Yeah, okay. So this was the level that I used on the 3-day, right? Held as support, deviated below, held as support, sent, held as support, resistance. Yeah. So this is much cleaner for me, and basically getting rejected here. So yeah, I prefer this outlook on Doge versus the 16 outlook. I think breaking above 20, holding this area as support, allowing high time frame trends to move up with you, basically 4-hour 100, 4-hour 200, right? Which is where we were caught. Right, these things are just working so well. Like this market is paradise, but this is the original idea. I'm already long Doge from down here. I mean, long as in spot long, right? I'm not perp long, but I accumulated Doge down here because to me this was the retest. It doesn't get cleaner than this, and it's very nice to see CT pumping my bags now. No one was interested in Doge down here at 8 cents. Everyone became a Doge maxi at 16 cents, 2x higher. That's fine. Let them continue pumping my bags. I have nothing to do but ride this. But yeah, this was just too clean of an invalidation to ignore. And if we go back to like current stuff, current charts where we are right now, I like the 3-day for this SR here. But basically, except above 19 or 20, and I think it really opens up the chart. It really opens up like 30 and 40, like big expansions. Yeah, this is the range that I'm working with. Let's get rid of the trends, focus on the price action quickly. Right here is basically where we developed our range, right? Last bull market, you have an expansion candle, that expansion high, it sets a low. This correction takes you to fresh highs, right? So this low is very important. This high is very important because you deviated above it, can't hold above it, bearishly back tested it, held it as support, basically, yada. You guys get it? That gives the credence to the 16 idea. But if we get basically holding above this value, we're looking for like 30, right? We're looking for very audacious targets and eventually 45. And when and if we accept above 45, we get price discovery. This is the way that I look at price discovery. I don't wait for, hey, we're getting to 74, let's pack on the risk now. I look for, hey, where's the point of breakdown? Where is the region where, price couldn't hold on a macro scale last cycle? Can we flip this macro scale level? And when we flip this, it really opens up a lot of stuff. So one trade is down here, and next trade will be like around mid-range. That's, we're going to see that down the line. And then a third trade will be above 45 if and when that comes. I'm going to laugh at you in olive oil. Sounds like you would enjoy that. Yeah, we'll look at Tia, man. Tia's been a dud, but we'll look at Tia. Clinic misses your insights. Yeah, man, it's tough for me to balance everything now. This is really tough for me to balance like the public stream, CT, Paragon, the clinic, everything like that. But yeah, I will have to put more content in clinic. I've been trying every time I get the opportunity, but yeah, man, we have to manage time because I don't want to spend 18 hours a day online anymore. By the way, if you are in the clinic, there's a discount going for Paragon, where you basically get a month off or 2 months off or 3 months off based on how long you sign up. Oh my God, I'm you guys talking so much. I have to skip so many messages. Wouldn't it be wise to consider picking up some ETH Beta at the daily? The only reason I'm going to say this, the only reason I'm not picking up ETH Beta, and I could be wrong on this one, is look how much ETH Beta underperformed ETH recently. And this is probably a bottom signal, right? This is like, we are trading at these lows, but ETH Beta is not ETH Beta. If you're losing to ETH, you're not actually ETH Beta, right? But there are some coins that look really good, like LDO, for example. The region, let me see if I have one marked up. Oh, is this the one? Yeah. So LDO did come to a region where it's pretty solid to pick up LDO spot once again around 250. I didn't buy this because you know, I longed LDO. I don't know if anyone remembers, but I longed LDO for this entire thing in Q4. I bought LDO on this flip at 160. I added on the daily 100, 200 flip, and I was just so annoyed. Holding this position through this at 250 was the most agonizing thing I've ever experienced. I hated this. And it was at the same time that people just reminded me, dude, LDO is one of the worst coins to trade, hold, and swing long. And yeah. So if I'm trading LDO, I'm trading in quick burst. I'm not swing longing this. And in fact, like, so many coins made like just turbo all-time highs, while LDO just continues to make nominal all-time highs. So as far as like a capital sync or whatever, I don't think it's the best. I think OP and ARB also kind of underperform, but they're in regions that look pretty juicy. I'm not gonna lie, like, these are the regions where I would consider bottom, right? So you guys see the kind of picture that I'm painting here is, if I'm optimistic on majors and I'm looking for higher highs on majors and altcoins are in these attractive areas, like, I don't think things are as bad as people are making them seem. And I think the bulk of the downside has already kind of been put in. I think the bulk of it has kind of been put in, right? Even if it takes time for us to form a bottom, you know, I think that as far as like top to bottom downside, I think most of it is in, right? So this is already 17% top to bottom. Even if it goes down a couple more percent, it's like you're only grinding down 5 more percent. That's what I think. Anyways, I'm optimistic, and that's why that's like the title of this video. When you say trend, what does that even mean? So the trend, right? When I say trend, I'm talking about intraday, intraweek, the gray ones. When I talk about daily trend, I'm talking about the blue ones. And when I talk about weekly trend, I'm talking about the red ones. So I apologize if I don't make that abundantly clear. Sometimes I just say trend to be lazy. But when I just say trend, I'm talking about gray, intraday, intraweek, daily, weekly. We'll get into chart requests in a bit, guys. All right. I'm trying to catch up with chat. I've never seen this many comments in chat. It's taking me a minute. Dusan, I told you I'll look at Tia, brother. You can wait a few minutes. Wait a few minutes. You need an intern. I do. You know what's crazy, dude? I have a lot of people that are offering to be like interns. But I don't know how that's gonna work, right? They basically. Yeah, I mean, I have one guy that Jedi, Acid Jedi. I don't know if you're in chat, but if anyone's gonna be my intern, it's gonna be Jedi, because that guy grinds. He's a hella hard worker. I can tell that, you know, that's someone that's gonna make it. And if he wants to do like intern stuff for me in turn for like any educational stuff or any advice or any experience that I can share with him, definitely that would be the guy. Jingo. Dude, Jingo, my dad actually, so he has my indicators on his chart now. And I actually saw him this morning for a little bit for breakfast. And he was talking about, did you see that ONDO keeps responding to the trend right here? He was talking about the 4-hour trend on ONDO. He's like, it's respecting it so well. It's respecting it so well. And I'm like, welcome to the team. Welcome to the trend trading team. Okay. So Sam asked for PEPE, Link, and ONDO. So we're at ONDO right now, and then we'll do Link, we'll do PEPE, and then we'll open it up from there. ONDO is so simple and straightforward, man. There's like nothing to say for it. This pivot down here, you guys saw that I had the anchored on, right? You're holding outside of. Oh wait, we're not. Okay. Oops. That was from yesterday. Anyways, kind of takes away the extra plus point. But expanded outside of last value, right? Here's your last range. I don't have it drawn that well. I'm not going to redraw it because it doesn't matter anymore. The point I'm making here is that we are holding the 4-hour trend. This is going to be our first 4-hour trend test. If this is successful from here, which I think it will be, since RWA is a legitimate narrative in the market. It's not one of the vaporware narratives that we have. It's very legitimate, and honestly, I think this is going to surprise a lot of people how high ONDO is going to rip, simply because we do not have a lot of coins to choose from in the RWA basket. And ONDO being one that's like literally partnered with BlackRock or supported by BlackRock, one or the other, and has like legitimate fundamentals behind it, and is new and shiny. This is the bet. This is the bet that I think this is going a lot higher. Like $1 is not the top for ONDO. Everyone is buying condos with ONDO. Excuse my bullishness. That's just actually my bias. And the 4-hour trend looks great, right? You've had multiple tags holding this. You would get concerned if you start losing and accept. Like the invalidation on ONDO is so easy. It's basically your prior high and your 4-hour trend. The confluence of these two things, losing this would be a pretty risk-off moment as far as someone holding perps or longs. If you're just in spot, I'm not telling you to sell your spot if this occurs. In fact, I would say if you come down to here, there's probably another big area to accumulate more ONDO spots. But you can see the reaction the market gave when you got these tests, when you got tests of demand, when you ran the low, and you got daily trend tests, right? You can see the respect and response that ONDO got. So I would say you're probably not going to get 44 again, as long as the trend holds. If you get that 4-hour correction that we just talked about, the next place to look for is the daily trends, right? So this would be kind of the region where ONDO would probably bottom. Fill in a little bit of this inefficiency. Definitely would not be happy if it retraced the entire thing. Find new buyers and value in the 50s or 60s, and then look from there to make the push towards $1. That's ONDO. Go to PEPE. Chart on PEPE. PEPE was also one of the ones, and I have it in my majors because PEPE is a major. It deserves respect. It's the meme major this cycle. I know there's a lot of WIF fans, and I support the hat, but I'm more aligned with PEPE than I am with WIF. Okay, so with PEPE, another one that was like unfathomably clean, basically had a 10x. I don't even know if it's 10x, probably like 6x or 8x or something, but from the lows, holding the 4-hour trends, multiple demand, sweep tags into the 4-hour trend, another one here, right? Holding the 4-hour trend, even on this big 40% wipe, holding the 4-hour trend here, 1, 2, so many signals on the 4-hourly, and the risk off was basically expansion candle, deviation above prior highs, could not hold this, basically resistance, like how many times, right? We got rejected by this region how many times? Could not hold above, dropped back below. That's already very, very concerning from a price action perspective, very concerning. And then the final piece of the pie is losing the 4-hour trends. And I basically tweeted this out and I said, consolidation on PEPE has begun. My base case for PEPE is honestly something like this. I think months. This is what I think, right? Obviously, I'll be happy if it doesn't, take this long, but my base case on PEPE is months, 3 months, 4 months of sideways, 3-4 months of repricing, 3-4 months of the market showing me that it doesn't care about this price action anymore. This is where PEPE is valued. PEPE is a de facto top 50 coin. PEPE is going to be desirable at these range lows multiple times, again and again and again. And when the time comes for this meta to turn up again, it's going to do multiples. And my target, as always, was flipping SHIB. I've been on record saying this down here, so many times at the lows. Every time PEPE is fudded on the timeline, I am the bull and I'm the voice of reason that PEPE is going to flip SHIB, and I still think it's going to flip SHIB, even more so. Like the conviction has only grown. That's my take on PEPE. I think it is the like obvious choice for meme coin of this cycle. And what I keep saying is there's many dogs, but there's only one frog. You can choose between DOGE, you can choose SHIB, WIF, Bonk, Floki. They're all the same. They're all dog coins, right? And the attention and money is going to be split amongst them. The dog coin community is going to have exposure to DOGE and WIF and Bonk and everything, and all their money is going to be divided. Whereas if you're betting on the frog, you're kind of just all in on the frog. But charts wise, right? This was the region to buy back, right? H4 200, right? Range lows, H4 200. This is where I bought back some spot after selling up here. I think it's going to range. And you can obviously take trades within this range several times, right? Just be wary that you're probably not ready for the next leg of expansion this soon, in my opinion. I would actually be happy if it lagged behind majors, if Bitcoin made a nominally higher high, and this kind of just moved a little bit and kept consolidating, and then we just get a rally where we can do another 6x real quick, where it has the entire attention span of the market, and participants aren't just like bidding ONDO and bidding some PEPE and bidding some of this and bidding some AI, and it's kind of just like a dedicated meme coin meta, just kind of like what this was, like full attention on memes. But for the CT to be ready to do that again, I think it's going to take a little bit of time. And the last one was Link. And forgive me for being bullish on Link, but I am bullish on Link. Forgive me. I just can't unsee this. I can't unsee the way that this is setting up right here. And one thing that we should know is that every time Bitcoin has been bullish, from October, from January, and maybe now, Link has led the rally. We can't deny that. It's only been 2, like sample size of 2, but it is what it is, right? In October, Link was strong before Bitcoin. In the risk on rally after the ETF, Link led that, right? Link was already up here before Bitcoin even broke over 48K. Link was already marking up, right? So this is hard to ignore as far as like a weekly SR, weekly trend perspective, sweep into weekly trend. I'm optimistic, and for the first time ever since the Marines were shilling me on Link down here, I'm considering buying Link spot for the first time ever, because the invalidation's too clear, right? And I know how much money I'm willing to lose if this breaks down. I know where I'm wrong quickly if this breaks down, and the upside looks too good from an RR perspective. And I know this is going to disappoint me. I know this is probably not going to play out like this. It's probably not going to be this generous to give me a 10R one swing. It's probably just going to go to 25 and be a piece of shit and not and not pump. But nonetheless, I do like where it's at right now. So I think Link looks pretty good. What are the gray, blue, and red lines? Okay, so do me a favor. Go to my Twitter. Go to the highlights section where it says highlighted tweets or whatever, right on my Twitter, and look at like the second tweet. It'll tell you everything you need to know. When did you start? What did you start from to get good at charting? I think the foundation of how I looked at markets was built largely from TraderXO. I think TraderXO streams in 2021, end of 2021, literally like the top of the bull market, is when I was like pretty humbled. Was getting some stuff wrong at the top there, and I saw TraderXO. I was following him luckily, and he was nailing some stuff, and I was like, well, what does he have that I don't have? What is he doing right? What am I doing wrong? Let me go watch TraderXO. And he broke it down from a very simple perspective as far as market structure, as far as ranges, as far as acceptance above and below, and you guys all know the famous deviation that TraderXO made very famous. So I think the baseline of my charting came from TraderXO for sure. Like, there's no doubt. Pay respects. He gets clowned on a lot, which is bullshit in my opinion, because he's still out trading 99% of CT, even though he's taking shorts in a bull market. He's still out trading majority of people that are clowning on him, which I think is hilarious. The original PEPE mix, nah, fuck that coin, Andrew. Sorry, I can't support that coin simply because that's a cabal coin. There's a bunch of influencers that own massive amounts of that supply that are dumping on the holders. I think it's a fugazi. I think it's attached to buzzwords. I don't want to support a coin where founders own the entirety of the supply. And I'm not going to name names, but I've been public with my views on that one and got pretty attacked by that community down at the PEPE lows, and fuck them, because basically when they attacked me, their coin was at like 80 cents and it had like a 90% drawdown basically to zero once again, because again, the people that own the supply are dumping on them. It doesn't mean that it's not going to pump. Everything in crypto pumps. You guys saw the ridiculous Solana meta that we had recently. Like, any coin can pump. it really doesn't matter. So you can make money on it and more power to you, but that's not a coin that I support. Is the Paragon link in the clinic still open for discount? I thought it ended. We have one running for credit cards right now. Charlie just made one for a couple people that wanted to sign up with credit cards, and I can post that again in the clinic. Short of the top and cashed out because of XO. Yeah, man, he's still fantastic. I mean, I think he's gotten some stuff wrong. He's been bearish when he should have been bullish. I think he would have had a much easier time being bullish. Obviously, right? We all know that, but he's a legend, dude. He's nailing stuff. Like, you know, when we were risk on from this rally to start Q1 last year, we were all long. A bunch of people were long, spot long, whatever. And he was shorting a bunch of these tops, and he was banking on the shorts, right? And obviously, he held on to that bias a little bit too long. But that's all part of the game, and I think you grow from that. He's one of the few people that's comfortable saying what he wants to say, trading the way he wants to trade, and not giving a fuck what anyone thinks. And I think maybe it's possible the reason that he got some unwanted hate or more hate than normal is because of his confidence, right? He was very confident, vocally confident in being a bear in the bear market, right? A bear in a bear market is going to be very happy the same way a bull in a bull market is going to be very loud and happy. And when those trends reversed from XO basically taking everyone's money for a year and a half and demolishing everyone for a year and a half, when we finally start winning, or I would say maybe the bulls or anyone else who's not shorting the market starts winning, naturally there's this kind of like animosity of, oh, it's a war, it's a competition, whatever. And I've been bullish since the macro bottom. So I kind of see the point that the bulls are making, but nonetheless, you have to show respect to good traders. I think always respect people, guys. You get nothing out of being a jackass. You literally get nothing out of it. Just be a good person. I know it's like corny to say, but honestly, what are you getting out of being a jackass on Twitter? Okay. Yeah, Tia. All right, let's do Tia. Deuce is asked like 40 times. Okay, so Tia on the weekly, it's still... See, the thing is, for Tia on the weekly, I wanted this region to hold 13.9. And the weekly close in here, we still have, another 24 hours. And it's very possible that this weekly can close above 13.9. If I scope into this region right here, right? I wanted to see us hold this daily 100 and 13.9 so that we can build value in this region and kind of squeeze above the 4-hour 100 200 downtrend, put in a definitive bottom, and send back to 20. It's a little choppy and hairy right now. We can't deny that. In this region, am I confident that the bottom is put in? I do think 11.6 was a phenomenal place to bid. In fact, I did bid this 11.6 bottom. Where I am at on my position right now is delta neutral. I've shorted against my spot. So whereas I was extremely bullish that Tia is going to put in a very nice deviation reversal if we broke down from here, I'm more of the case that it's going to take a little bit more time than I originally expected. My original expectation, I think, was around this candle right here, right? That we were going to start forming a bottom in this region, right? And we were starting to get price reversal. We've pushed down, and I don't think it's Tia specific. I just think it's unfortunate that Tia was already in this moment of weakness when we got Bitcoin weakness, right? When I originally made these Tia plans, Bitcoin was still trending on its 4-hour. ETH was still trending on its 4-hour. Things still looked very, very bullish. And I'm thinking that this could get price reversal. Very good opportunity for spot. My original plan, right, was positioning off 13.9. So I got filled on this 13.9 wick on spot, no perps. Added some more on the next kind of tag of the same region, and then added more at 11.6, right? My cost basis is basically kind of break even at this point, right? I basically, whatever I bought here, I sold here. I don't have that because I kind of got oversized. And then I went delta neutral because in the reclaim area, we really need to push and hold 13.9. When I see us start pushing back below the daily 100, when I see us breaking unable to break 4-hour downtrends, when I see us getting canned by the 4-hour 100, that to me says, okay, we're not quite ready to hold this value, right? And at any moment, if TIA just starts reclaiming and holding these areas, I'll just remove the hedge. But I'm staying hedged in case TIA decides to bleed back out to 11.6. I always say there's no money in prediction. It's just how you manage your risk. And I want to do business at extremes, right? Why did I do business right here? Big gap to fill, right? Basically risk off on TIA, vocally saying that TIA is probably going to get 13.9. We got 13.9. I wanted 13.9 to hold as far as a bottom goes. Like I said, pretty unfortunate that this is occurring, but nonetheless, that's what you have to deal with. You're not going to get every single one right. Unfortunate that the market had to be weak at this moment, but I really don't know. I can't tell you. I can't tell you if TIA is going to bleed from here back to 11.6 or reclaim. The system is very crabby, very choppy in this range right here. You do have a market structure break. The only thing I'm going to tell you, like from a bull's point of view, you on lower time frames, excuse me, not on high time, on lower time frames, the bullish point of view is you have a 4-hour downtrend, a 4-hour market structure break where you put in a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and this could potentially be another higher low where the weekly does close around 14.6, 14.5 above the daily 100, in which case this would look phenomenal once again, right? The weekly picture right here would look great once again if you can close the weekly around, whatever this is, 14.4, 14.3, basically close above this swing low and close above the daily 100. Again, on the weekly, it would look phenomenal. It would look like a massive bullish deviation, and I would get very, very optimistic on trend reversal. But where we're at right now, TLDR on TIA, just too much chop. It's very hard to make a directional bid or directional bias when you're kind of trading at the POC of this latest consolidation, right? I don't want to make bets at mid-range. I want to make bets at what do you want to call it? Pushes away from, basically the point of control. I would rather hedge up here and buy down here. I'd long down here and short up here. Don't want to make a bet right here, which is where TIA is not really giving me much to go off of on lower time frames. Sui looks fantastic. Yeah, that was the other one that I was mega bullish on. And it's unfortunate for me that I picked to position in TIA and not Sui, because my whole thing was, well, I have enough layer 1 exposure. I have exposure to Solana from the lows. I have exposure to Say from like 20 cents. Do I really want to add another layer 1? And this was kind of the same setup. Look at the stream 2 weeks ago. It was basically the exact same thing. Daily 100, daily 200, weekly demand, sweep into this level. On the weekly, looks phenomenal. And this was one that I bull posted, basically very bullish on Sui and very bullish on TIA. This is how Sui looks, obviously. This is how TIA looks. So you can definitely tell that one is way stronger than the other. So from a trade perspective, Sui was definitely the better pick. The reason I picked TIA is I wanted to spread out my bets away from too much layer 1 concentration. I feel like I have enough there, as well as APT. I have APT spot as well. So like as far as like move chains go, I know the whole move narrative, like spinning up, move VM and stuff, which is like Sui and Aptos, and I have Aptos exposure from down here, right? Are you still in Mubi? No. Mubi I cut pretty much the start of this month. Mubi and Ceph, those are two that I cut at the start of this month. Just had too many bags. They were up. I didn't make that much on them. I think 35-40% realized returns, 30% realized returns from a spot perspective on both of those each, and wasn't too happy with the charts, honestly, so I cut those. Want to talk about PENDLE, want to talk about Prime. I don't think the market would be so kind to give me this on Prime. I don't know if the market's going to be this kind. I think this is way too big of a correction to ask for. It's honestly way too big. The only reason we would get this is because Prime got a little main charactered recently in the last 2-3 weeks. A lot of people got very bullish on Prime, and a lot of people are up a lot. The first time I bought Prime was like $4. I added at 6 and 7. I added at 10, and then I closed out on this push. just to rebalance some stuff. It was like 16 or 15. I closed, I took profits on my Prime, and I moved money elsewhere. Again, not the best decision for me, obviously, because of how much Prime pushed. But if Prime ever gives me an opportunity to rebuy these values at daily demand plus the daily 100, daily 200, I'm going to take that opportunity. I think this looks like a cannon. I don't think it's topped. I don't think it's cycle topped. I think it's just starting to spin up. But there is precedent here for at least local top, at least, interim 2-3 week top could have been put in here on Prime. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. This trend would have to break down. This market structure would have to break down. Right now, basically, if we get below and start closing below this low right here, 21.8, that's going to be kind of like a daily market structure break. And that could give the idea of trend reversal and weakness. And maybe I get lucky and get to fill down here again at 15, 16. But we'll have to see. Thoughts on Render? Yeah, man, Render. Render is one that I fully closed. Render is a trade that I've been in forever, and wanted to realize profits. I think you guys will see the theme of the last stream and this stream is kind of just me paying myself for a lot of bags that I was in, and I kind of just want to focus on 2, 3, 4 bags for the rest of the cycle rather than having a bunch of bets on a bunch of coins. And if that means moving back into Render, I probably will. But here's the on the gate chart as a full history. So Render has been an evolving trade for me. Bullish at 2, bullish at 3, bullish at 4.5 break, right? And it's simple, right? This was the point of breakdown. This is the region where for 5 or 6 weeks last cycle, bulls tried to hold the line before it just basically all fell apart. We spent, a couple months here holding this as resistance. When we finally started accepting above, that for me was go time. And the final trade was 14, right? And the only reason I picked 14 was because of fibs, right? Price discovery, it's very hard to pick, a legitimate target, right? And I had the 1618 right here. And when we got this first candle basically to mid 12s, I started closing out my position. And that position was built from 2, from 3, from 4. I was just adding to this one, right? Building, and took profits at 12.5, took profits at 13, took profits at 11.5. Basically, I'm selling my spot in this region. I don't have any Render spot left. And I think this could be one of those things. And I'm not jinxing it. I'm not trying to put this on anyone. But I think Render may, I don't want to jinx it, but I think it may enter this on INJ. I think Render had its move. I think Render had this already. And I think Render is entering the chop, disgusting reconsolidation that INJ is going through. So that's kind of my leading bias on Render right now, is that we're in this. And I don't want to jinx it because I like Render. That one holds dear to me because it was the last coin that I was actively shorting last summer. But basically, since I stopped shorting Render, I haven't shorted anything. Where's the Render chart? This was the end of the doc shorting arc, was this. This was it, right? When we had our, Apple conference, we put in a lower high, we started slamming into this region, we lost the daily trends. This is when I started hammering shorts, and I said, okay, we got the gap fill, right? Trade number 1, right? Bearishly back tested the point of breakdown, trade number 2 down. And I was just so annoyed. I'm like, why am I consistently taking these shorts? My target was these equal lows right here on Render, and I was like, I'm just so sick and tired of monitoring and trading around this position that I'm just gonna fuck off for the summer. And I think this was like that August, September type of area where I just took some time off of markets. And when it bottomed, you guys can see where it went, right? But I had to flip. I actually bought the bottom of this. What did I buy? I bought 130, and I bought spot, a good amount of spot, and I sold at 160. because I couldn't dream at that time. I couldn't dream big enough of like where coins are actually going to end up. And I bought spot like 130. I sold at 160. I missed a lot of this rally, and then I flipped bullish like in this region from a trade perspective. And then I finally capitulated, and I was like, look, this is a major region. I have to buy spot. I'm not going to be able to nail all of these trades again and again and again and again. I need to just buy spot. And this is where the spot accumulation on Render began. If you had to pick 3 coins to hold majority of your net worth until the end of the cycle, what are you picking? Solana, Pepe, and the third one is up for debate still. I'm still figuring that one out. I'm still trying to develop mega conviction in a third bag. The leading bag for me was TIA, and I did position massively into TIA initially at 13.9, and like I told you guys, I'm kind of delta neutral, you know, after this bounce because it got a little hairy. I positioned here, I added here, I added here. I was underwater. I was not comfy this day. I added it 11.6, basically just had limits there that filled, very, very lucky fills. And on the bounce, like in this area, I've just gone delta neutral. So I may let this one play out because I don't think TIA is done. I think it's the leader of its narrative. I think modularity is going to spin up again. I think TIA will be the leader of the modularity narrative. I don't think this is a cycle top. And I do think this is going to be it's going to end up being a reaccumulation zone, and buys down here are going to look very good for when we eventually break out from this region. It's not going exactly how I envisioned, but it's not one that I want to give up on quite yet. So it could potentially be TIA for the third bag, but I'm still figuring that out myself. And I have another, I'd say a couple weeks to figure this one out. ONDO is one that I would have, man, it's just as a hindsight thing, right? There's no real talking about it, but if I had the option to go back, you know, a couple days, and instead of positioning in TIA, position in ONDO, obviously it's the result that's talking right now, right? Not the actual fundamentals. It's the market reaction of like, well, Larry Fink is putting $100 million into ETH for a tokenization fund, right? I would have rather positioned in ONDO than TIA at that point, because I really think RWA is going to be a narrative for this year. I think RWA is going to be very, very, very strong for the rest of the year. And if there's new coins that are coming out, I want to position in that one, or in those, excuse me. As far as another like capital, like if the market gives me this 29 fill right here, I may just say screw it, and instead of looking for beta, just like 2-3x perp long or futures long ETH instead of taking another spot position. Because I do think this is going to be like, if this sets up, which I don't know if it will, generational swing opportunity on ETH. There's a lot of other good coins out there, man. It's the thing with developing conviction is you have to buy coins where you're not going to get shaken on drawdown, and you're going to be willing to accept spot drawdown, and you're going to be willing to expect spot round trips. One of my highest conviction trades for this cycle, actually the 3 highest conviction trades for the cycle going into the cycle was Solana, Pepe, and TIA. And I fumbled TIA from $2, right? Which is why I'm kind of like trying to rectify that right now. Solana I've traded in and out of many, many times. And Pepe was the one where I just never got shaken. I just never got shaken on that one. Just like relentless autistic conviction in that one, even when it was being fudded by a bunch of like forks and stuff like that. How high do you think TIA can go? Like $50, $100, even higher? I don't know anything about FET. I can look at the chart though. I don't know anything. I don't even know what FET or fetch is. By the way, guys, this is the most comments I've ever seen in stream, so I know I'm missing a lot of comments. I apologize about that. Check near. Yeah, let's do near. I like near. You guys will notice when you ask me charts that look good, I'm going to respond to them much, much faster than charts that I know kind of loosely that they don't look that good. I'd rather talk about charts that look super bullish than ones that look like, you know? It's so simple, right? There's your prior weekly pivot, right? Here's your prior weekly high. We're trading above it. We're finding support at the daily trends combined with daily demand. This looks extremely good. This looks extremely good for a bottom. This looks extremely good for a bottom. You have the confluence of daily demand. You have the confluence of prior swing high. You have the confluence of daily trends. This is a region where I think near looks phenomenal. For it to put in a bottom, yes, it can get very volatile down here if you're not taking a high time frame approach. If you're trying to trade the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you're gonna get shaken on moves like this. If this happens, right? If this happens, the ultimate sign of strength on coins like this that look really good is how they respond if Bitcoin and ETH look weaker from here. If Bitcoin and ETH decide to make, we're optimistic, but if they decide to make a lower low, pay attention to what coins like this do. And I'm giving away too much alpha. Pay attention to what coins like this do in those moments, though. Solana over ETH, yeah, man. And Solana has proven to be better than ETH for this cycle. I don't know how many opportunities the market has to show us that. I don't know how many times the market has to show us that. It's shown us that too many times. ZETA is one that I forgot about. I haven't looked at ZETA in a very long time. I actually bought the ZETA listing and sold. But this doesn't look too inspiring so far on first glance. This actually doesn't look great. Yeah, this is your region of position around 180 if you're getting this again, right? If we reject here and come back down, 180 is a good region to position in with an easy invalidation. One turbo downtrend right here, right? It may have to do, we never know. Let's see, let's just doodle this. Right? Equal lows. Maybe it comes down, runs these equal lows, and that's your reversal, right? And then you can run to range highs. But yeah, it's kind of just at value right now. It's hard, like I've said with the TIA example, it's hard to position at value. And my streams are never about 4 hourly timeframes. I'm always trying to focus on, I'm sorry about that. I'm always trying to focus on higher timeframes versus intraday and intraweek, or yeah, intraday, intra-week stuff. Maybe something like this on ZETA, if you're lucky to get it in this region, would be a nice signal. Side note, I've been completely Joe-pilled again. They make 7-8K a day on fees 100%. Jingo, why were we not consistently bullish on Joe last year when you were first shilling it to us down here? No, that's not even right. It was here. This is where we first got Joe pilled, right? This was the area where even I owned Spot Joe for this move. Oh, man. Oh, well. How do we look? Oh, man, this doesn't even look bad. Let me look at the weekly. Oh, no, this doesn't even look bad, bro. You have had some all-time fumbles. Yeah, man. Should we bring up Prime again? This doesn't look bad, man. Do I have to add Joe back to the watch list? Actually, shout out a couple guys. I think Tommy was telling me about Joe before it took off. I think Tommy was telling me about this right down here. Dang, this actually looks clean. This is a clean 4-hour downtrend. 4-hour downtrend break after holding this to support with the weekly level confluence. This is not bad, boys. This is not bad. Jingo was right. Point of breakdown. Swing high. Maybe break this first. Market structure break. Come down. Set a higher low. Flip this to support. So MSB, right? Come down, flip 4-hourly trend to support, take the next trade into this swing high, into the point of breakdown. This looks phenomenal. This looks really, really good. Let's set some alerts for the market structure break. Pendle, dude, yeah, Pendle hurts me actually too. Pendle hurts me a lot because I saw Pendle being a monster on a high time frame, dude. I saw this developing down here in this region, and I decided not to take action. When the entire market looked like shit in August and September, that was when we were trading Pendle. This is when we were trading Pendle all the time in the clinic, was this range right here. And most exchanges didn't even have all this price history. I think most exchanges started from like right here. So we were just trading this as a range. And one day I opened up the MEXC chart and I said, this looks phenomenal on high time frame, holding daily or holding weekly trends. Like I should just buy spot. I thought about it like 50 times. Like I should just buy spot. I should just buy spot. I should just buy spot. And I never did. And I got, this was one of the coins that like you rage quit, where I just deleted it off my watch list and I just didn't want to pay attention to Pendle when it started trending up here. I took a few trades on it here and there, but basically missed this entire thing. And that's triggering. And even like, look, like these perfect retests that you get even like a couple days ago, man, you had 2 trades on here that were bangers. You had one from down here and you had a second one right here. And I've made nothing on this. But Pendle looks phenomenal. What can we say? What's the market cap on Pendle? It's still cheap, isn't it? Nice try, Fed. How old am I? No, thanks. Also, what do you invest in? All right, brother, we're going to have to take that conversation somewhere else. It's getting a little personal. Hey, we're back at 90 viewers. Nice. If you guys could do me a favor and hit the like below, I would appreciate that. I don't ask often, but it would be kind of you to do that. Also, let's talk about the giveaway. I'm giving away a laptop. Actually, I'm not giving away a laptop. Woo gave me a laptop to give away. So let's pull this up. This is legit. Where's the background? Oh, do I have to remove this? How do I show you guys the background? No way, I can't do it. There's no way. 1 second. One second. All right, so first of all, for those of you guys don't know, Woo sponsors my streams. You guys can see the Woo logo in the corner. I've actually been partnered with them since November of last year. I've taken all of my intraday and intra-week trades to their platform. So I've been using Woo religiously, basically since Q4 of last year for trading. Like everything that's basically not spot, not swings, but everything intra-week. Sorry about that, hit my mic. And they decided to sponsor the channel. And what they're doing for us and for you guys is they're giving me a MacBook. Basically, how do I copy this? Boom, boom. I'm going to do it like this. Can't paste. All right. This is tragic. I want to make this work. I want to make this work. I want to make this work. Okay, there's a link below. I'm just going to describe it first. We'll get the I'll get the official picture in a second. But the way this works, all you have to do is sign up to Woo using my reference link, which is in the link below, and deposit $100 over the next month. There's like the easiest sign up in the world. And let me tell you guys the alpha on this one. Only like 5 of you that are listening to this are actually going to do it. There's 100 people in here. Most of you are just going to be like, I'm not going to win, whatever. It's literally a MacBook. They're giving away a brand new MacBook Pro. All you got to do is sign up, deposit $100. I don't even think a trade is required. Let me check the official rules here. Sign up to Woo. Deposit $100. There you go. That's all we have to do. Sign up to Woo. All these links are in the description box below. Sign up to Woo. Deposit minimum of $100 worth of any asset. So it could be some of the spot that you guys already have. You don't have to deposit fresh money. just some of your spot that you have. Put it on the platform. Show that you have interest. Maybe try it out, take a trade. I vouch for it. I trade there. And then fill out the Google form. And the Google form is literally in the link of the description box below. And all the Google form is just going to ask you for basically your Woo ID, so they can double check that you actually deposited and signed up through my ref link. Do both of those things. By the end of the month, they're going to put you in a raffle, and they're literally going to give away a MacBook. And let me see if I can get the image here, because the image looks fucking cool. That's why. That's a new MacBook too. It's not like an old one. Literally like a brand new MacBook. Couldn't paste. Image too large. No, that's trash. Okay, you're just gonna have to trust me. I'll post it somewhere else. But yeah, free MacBook. Sign up with Woo. These are the 2 links. All you gotta do is in the description box below. It's literally in the link below, like in the YouTube description below. Hit the like button. Sign up there. And if you're already signed up to Woo on my reference link or on someone else's reference link, all you gotta do is shoot them like a quick email, and they'll like swap you over to the DocXBT link within like a couple hours. Like they're super quick about it. And that's pretty much it. Do that. You can sign up and get a laptop. And I'm telling you guys, no one's going to do this. All you guys are going to ignore this. None of you are going to take the 2 seconds to do it. So what's going to happen? There's only going to end up being like 5 or 7 people or 8 people in the raffle, which like gives you unbelievable odds of winning literally a brand new MacBook Pro. So I think it's worth signing up. MacBook Pro, not a MacBook Air. MacBook Pro. As per their description, they say MacBook Pro. And the picture that they used is a brand new one, not like an older model. So definitely worth checking out. I'm actually low key. I'm telling you guys the truth. I'm going to get my girlfriend to sign up because, hey, maybe I'll win a MacBook. Yeah, Woo requires KYC. Basically non-American. I think America and Canada are really the 2 blocked regions for Woo, but non-American. Yeah, according to them, $100 of any coin. Does that include us that joined with your ink link ages ago? Man, that's a good question. That's a great question, Richard. Should we? I'll ask him. I'll ask them about that. Because I feel like maybe, you know what I'll maybe do? I'll ask Woo if they can give me another laptop to give away for you guys, because that'd be sick. I need to sign up right now or sign up with your reference before I can enter the giveaway. Yeah, that's a good question, Shiva. So I don't know about that, but let me go back to them. Maybe they'll give me another laptop to give away for you guys that are already on the link, because they were nice enough to give me this one. So maybe they'll give me another one. Who knows? I'd love to reward people that are already on it. By the way, guys, I make like, there's this whole like thing about people shilling ref links that make tons of money. I have made, since joining Woo, based on people, I think 100 people have signed up. I want to be completely transparent and honest. I think 100 people have signed up using my Woo ref link since I partnered with them in October. I've pushed it a couple times on the channel. I've pushed it maybe once on Twitter. 100 people signed up. Out of those 100, I think only 55 have traded. And the fees that I've gotten, because I did a 50-50 fee split, basically anyone who signs up on my link gets half of the fees that they, would be given to me, goes back to them, gets like airdropped back to them as like a refund. I think I've made $400. Like, honestly, I think I've spent like $400 or maybe $500 now over the past 5 months. So I don't know why people shill the crap out of ref links, because it's very tough to make a bunch of money that way. But I like Woo. I use them, like I said, like they're where I'm actually trading. Yeah, the people that are running it behind the show are super cool people. Like I'm hanging out with them. I'm actually going to do a tutorial for them soon. Okay, enough about that. Last thing I should chill. If you guys want to know more details about how I trade, and you're interested in learning more education from me, Magus and Charlie, who are 2 guys that I've learned so much from, check out Paragon. There's a link for the WAP in the description box below as well. Come hang out with us there. Magus streams once a week. Charlie streams once a week. I stream once a week for Paragon. We have channels where we're giving like day-to-day, intraday analysis. If any of you guys are from Paragon, say what's up in chat. And you know, like the amount of the wealth of knowledge in Paragon, I think is greater than any other group on CT, and I will vouch for that because I've been in other groups before too as well. So I know what everyone has to offer, and I like Magus has thousands of hours of educational content in there, and I've gotten so much from that from my trading. So if you guys are interested in learning how I trade, how Magus trades, how Charlie trades, we all have different systems, and I think there's a lot to offer in there. So come check us out. There's a link in the description box below. All right. Enough with that. Let's get back to the stream. I'm so sad that I couldn't show you guys the graphic because for some reason I think the graphic looks so cool. It's not like crazy or anything like that. It's just very neat and clean. And I always respect neat and clean images. All right, let's get back to the stream. There we go. Paragon Chads in chat. If Sol hits 140 and ETH hits 2,900, what are you buying for more upside? Probably Solana. But I don't know if Solana is giving you 140. I don't even know if ETH's giving us 2,900. But if that happens, yeah, probably Solana. Because just 140 to Solana's all-time high, which I think is like 260, is almost a 2x right there. And then you'll probably get at least like 50 to another 2x in price discovery if you're just going off of like what shitcoins have been doing so far this cycle. And I don't see any reason why Solana would not do that. It is up 10x off the lows, and it's not blasphemous to say that we're going to end up, cycle low to cycle high, a 50x off the lows, because the 2017 cycle, you guys don't quote me on this, but I think the 2017 cycle, Bitcoin did a 50x off the lows. The 2021 or 2020 cycle, Ethereum did a 50x off the lows, and it would be pretty poetic to see Solana do a 50x off the lows. All three of these correcting like 90-something% in their lifetimes at least once. Coming back from a 90% correction is probably, or 90-something% correction is the most Lindy thing you could do in crypto markets. You survive a 98-99% markdown and come back to make new all-time highs. You've basically cemented yourself as something that's going to be around in crypto forever. And I think Solana's already shown, like, by, I always thought that Solana was like really nothing but NFTs. And I was really surprised to see everything that's being built on Solana outside of NFTs. And it's kind of crazy because going into crypto, you think of decentralization and stuff like that being a core factor. And it just seems like participants, or at least users of these chains, do not care at all about security and decentralization. If you cared a lot about that, you'd stay on Ethereum. If you don't care, Ethereum kind of screwed itself by going to proof of stake too, if I'm not going to lie. I wish Ethereum stayed proof of work. But yeah, I would, if those are your main concerns, you would stick on Ethereum. If those are not, then I don't understand why you wouldn't just use Solana at this point. The market speaks with its money, and the market's speaking with its money this cycle. Thanks, Doosan. Cheers. All right, guys. Should we do some chart requests? I had you guys hold off to the end. Let's do some. Let's do a few, but try to make them good. Like try to ask about coins that look strong, like PENDLE, so we can actually look for setups. So I'm not just saying, well, if it does this and if it reclaims that and if this happens and if we get above here and then we get this, then we can be that. Like, I don't want to do that for shitcoins. I don't want to, like, we're so deep in this cycle. The market has already picked tons of winners. I don't want to like look at coins and just be like, oh, well, this one may have hope if this happens. Kind of like TIA right now. Like TIA is kind of like in a broken down structure. It's not looking too hot, which is why I'm not super hyped on it this week as I was the last time I streamed. Last time I streamed, I was much more hyped on this because it was in a bigger position of power coming back into a region. And now it's looking a little bit shaky. We'll have to see. Even Link looks good. Like even Near looks good. not even near looks good. INJ is something I haven't talked about on the stream in a long time because it's been looking kind of shit. Like I was really hyped on this breakout. Unfortunate that I got canned. I should talk about whiff. No one's asked me about whiff. Let's do whiff. Let's do Solana. Let me go on my own. Let's do some coins that naturally look pretty good. So very simple on whiff for me. I want a daily, I want a 4-hourly 200 tag. Right now, we're really holding the 4-hourly 100. And this could be a bottom. This could be a bottom because this region right here served as resistance numerous times. We blasted above it. We've been holding it as support. You're kind of doing the bouncing ball meme where you're, setting, weaker and weaker pumps, and it may lead to that bleed. And that's kind of what I'm betting on to fill the bags here. Like if this bleeds and takes out this low and potentially even this low into the 4-hourly 200, this is the region where I want to be a whiff bull. I want to be spot. I want to buy spot on whiff at like 180 down in this region and bet on the reclaim. And once the reclaim comes, maybe look to play perps into these equal highs, into range highs. But I want to look to position in a whiff down here if we get this move. I think it looks good. I think there's a case to be made that we can just hold this floor right here. But I'm not convinced yet. I would rather do this. Like if it's gonna form the floor here, rather do this. Run these equal highs, come back down, and give me this test, and I'll probably buy it here somewhere down the line. Because it's gonna take time. Like I told you guys on the PEPE thesis, I think memes take 3 months. At least I would like them to take 3 months of sideways. And I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world. Because like look at something like Say. Like Say has been consolidating for 3-4 months. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the worst thing. Wait for high time frame trends to catch up, to wait for weekly trends to catch up, to form a consolidation, to reprice your asset much higher, 10x higher, and then go from there. I think it's a very bullish thing. And then Solana, let's talk about. What is this? Solana is at a very interesting region. You guys heard me talking about last stream how 174 was my take profit. I did take profits on my perp position, my swing long positions. This is the region where Solana has to flip for price discovery. Notice that I said price discovery, not all-time highs, because all-time highs kind of just leads you into price discovery. And it's very interesting that this weakness is happening at the same time as the majors corrections. So if Solana can form a range right here somehow, however this looks, while weekly trends catch up, the next pump is not going to stop at all-time highs. The next pump is going to take you into price discovery. I would be looking at $300, $400. Like I'd be looking at those targets. So I'm very, very optimistic on Solana trying to bottom in this region on the weekly time frame. Obviously, it can completely break down, but that's contingent on daily trends being lost. Right now, you're just holding daily trends, and you had enough room to sell off into them, and you're holding 174, right? So again, cautiously optimistic on Solana here that it could bottom in this region and continue to hold the 174 region as supports, where it was resistance last cycle and deviations, and we could not hold above this, and you could never really get a proper bid above this region, and we come back to test it. This is pretty much the point of breakdown. So flipping this point of breakdown would be extremely bullish from a high time frame perspective on Solana. How low does it have to go before I would consider the end of the bull market when we lose weekly trends. Just for now, right? If I want to give you like a very brief point, right? Let's say we do something like this and we come back below and we're not able to run these and we come back in here and we reject this from the underside, something like that. Right? It wouldn't even look like this. It would round over, but you get my point, right? It would look like this. It would round over and we're unable to reaccept above daily trends once again. This is where I think the complacency or shoulder would form if and when that occurs. And this is what I think the start of the bear market is when you can't hold weekly trends anymore. You've exhausted your weekly trends. That's when I think the bear market is starting. Until that happens, I'm going to continue to buy every dump. Some dumps are not going to be that deep. Some dumps are going to be really deep. But I'm going to continue to buy those dips. Zai. Okay, let's check out Zai. Oh, I actually looked at this at some point, apparently. Okay. So the trend has been exhausted. This trend, this one that took you here, has been exhausted. A new range is formed using this demand as your support and using the listing VWAP as support. Positioning, again, it's right around mid-range. It's underside rejecting the daily trends. I wouldn't be bullish or trying to buy this until it comes back down here. Maybe runs these lows. Actually, that looks like it already did. It already ran that low, but I would be much more comfortable positioning on XY down here versus giving any type of analysis as it's bearishly backtesting daily trends from the underside. This doesn't look fantastic. I think it's going to take a little bit more time, right? I think maybe something like this, but it looks range bound. It looks like it's consolidating. There's no obvious trend for this coin to be respecting at the moment. The trend has been broken and it's entering consolidation. Yeah, Chainlink does suck. I agree. Check TRX. Nah, dude, we can't trade TRX though. We can't trade TRX though. I can't support this man. Oh, you're right. That is a clean 4-hour trend. That is a clean 4-hour trend with something that looks like it's entering a bottom as well, based on weekly trends and based on, wow, prior highs, weekly demand, wicked into weekly demand, flipping prior highs into weekly support. This looks kind of good. It looks actually really good. Just speaking, like, why has TRX been getting bid this entire cycle? Why is it one of the best uptrends in the market since the lows? Who's buying this? It's not up that much, but what a trend. The obvious thing is it's over. It's turbo over if this is lost. Like, if you can't hold this consolidation and this prior like high retest and this weekly trend, and you bounce from here and you set a lower high and you lose these trends and you start accepting back into range, dude, it's over. But which is why if you're a bull on TRX, you have to bid here. TON looks strong. Have good sentiment with a number of potential Telegram users. Can you give your opinion? I don't know anything about TON. I don't think I've ever looked at this chart either. Oh my god. Is this the full chart? Jesus. Wow. I think if you get this region, you bid, right? If this breaks down and you get a 4-hourly trend tag with 4-hourly demand confluent with prior highs, that's a region of bid TON. We'll just set an alert there and we'll see what happens. Doesn't look bad. Actually, I mean, what am I saying? It looks phenomenal, to be honest. It looks kind of dirty. It looks really, really good. Check the hourly. May keep grinding up. Like, no guarantee I get this test. But if I get this test, this is a pretty damn good region of bid TON. All right. Any chart related questions in chat. Leave those in there as well. I actually have a lot more fun when you guys ask me non-chart related questions. I think those are much more fun for everyone to listen to as well. We'll do a few more of these though. This is a gaming coin, right? Super. Some guys in Clinic are always bullish on this. I think it trades well, which is why they're bullish on this. Okay, number one thing is this is a market structure break. This is the most bullish thing on this chart right now, is this market structure break. And you're basically looking to defend a higher low, wherever this forms, for a higher high, for probably this next swing high. If you're given a pullback here. You would ideally not want this to be the deepest pullback in the entire world. You would ideally want this to be somewhat of a shallow pullback for trend continuation, but it looks pretty good on the 4 hour. You specifically wanted the daily too. Yeah, it looks good here too. It looks good here too. It looks stronger than other coins, that's for sure. Looks really, really good. You even ran this like liquidation low. Yeah, running this low and then breaking market structure in the 4 hourly, I'd say it looks pretty good. Coin looks pretty good. Do you subscribe to the left-handed market height? Oh, I think you're asking about like the left translated cycle. I think it is a good narrative for bulls, to be honest, because there's this saying that bull markets climb a wall of worry, and the current wall of worry for bulls is that we're going too fast. Every bull that you'll talk to is saying we're ahead of schedule, we're going to top soon, we're going too fast, we're going too parabolic, we're supposed to go into 2025, the halving isn't even here yet, we broke all-time highs before the halving. So my thought on it is more chart-based than anything else. I'm not going to be timing a top based on something like that, because I think that's silly. I can't time a top based on that. I think, though, if you have this sell-off, whatever, let's just use current as example. Let's say we start doing this, right? And we're trading down here. And people go, oh, see, that's the left translated cycle. It's over. I told you, right? And we simultaneously are just simply holding weekly trends, however this turns out. Who knows, maybe they come down like this. And we're holding this. I don't care about what anyone says about the cycle. I'm just going to trade the chart. If we start breaking below this, yeah, things get a little hairy. For those of you guys who have been watching my streams or following me on Twitter for a while, you know, the only time that I got turbo risk off this entire cycle was right here, where I was a little concerned. And my idea was, oh, we're not like going to zero, but it's going to take a little bit longer. I was thinking that we were in this kind of phase, right? I was thinking, oh, we're going to chop around for more months. We're not ready to go so soon, right? And when did I flip back to being a bull? When we reclaimed those weekly EMAs, right? When we reclaimed these, this was back to being bullish. So to answer your question, do I believe in a left translated cycle? I don't believe in any sort of cyclical prediction model. I don't believe in anything that someone can predict the price of an asset class as big as this based on cycles and moon cycles and whatever. I don't think you can predict that. I think it's fun to look at. I think it's a fun narrative. I think when people put those high time frame charts and they say, oh, look what happened this cycle, and look what happened, let's draw a parallel from 2013 to make it like this, and let's draw a parallel from this to make it like that, and let's use this fractal. I think that's all very fun to look at, but none of that is actionable. So there's nothing for me to say that do I believe in it or not. It just simply will or won't happen. And no one knows. And people propagating that stuff, in my opinion, are not to be trusted. I don't think people that can just confidently say, oh, this is going to happen based on whatever, juju. I don't think there's any merit to that. So one thing that could be bullish is that what happens, let's say we do this, let's say we go up and we go to 80K and we come all the way down, and everyone's like, see, left translated, it's over, 30% correction, things are done. And we just start going back up and we break above this high. What happens then? What happens then? Then everyone goes, holy shit, it wasn't left translated. That was just a correction. We're going here and there and there. But during this phase, everyone on the timeline is going to be screaming left translated, left translated, left translated. And you're going to get fudded out of your bags because you believe in this narrative or this catchphrase and you don't have any strategy for yourself. You're just kind of listening to what people say. And I don't think that's a very successful strategy. To just be like, oh, that's a narrative and people are predicting and oh, look, they were right. Things went down. I don't think that's a wise strategy. How did you develop your system of EMAs? They're different than XOs, but you said you did. The thing that I learned from XO is not EMAs. The thing that I learned from XO is trading ranges and understanding range highs and range lows and what kind of price action you want to see at range highs and looking for breaks in market structure and looking for opportunities to short range highs and looking how, we can get deviations at range lows and how to define risk and what an invalidation is and how to trade price action. Those are the things I learned from XO. I did not learn EMAs from XO. I know that he does actually have 12 and 21 on his charts, and that was probably the first time I got interested in thinking about EMAs. Yeah, I think that was like the first time I got interested, but I learned how to trade EMAs from Pierre. I learned EMA trading from Pierre, not from XO. Been in the stream for 4 minutes and you're already saying some of the realest shit I've heard from streamers. Yeah, man, you're always gonna get the brutal, honest truth from me, not hopium. You're just gonna get my unfiltered thoughts all the time. All right, guys. Any last questions, or should we wrap it up there? We've been going for 2 hours. That's usually my allotted stream time. I apologize for the mishap at the start of the stream. That was kind of bullshit. I don't know why we got taken down at the start of the stream. I'll have to look into that, but I apologize. And if you haven't already, do me a favor and hit the like. Just hit the like. Just hit the like. Just hit it one time real quick. How do you deal with making a lot of money? I don't deal with it. I'm happy if it comes. I'm sad if it goes. But I'm more focused on the craft. I'm more focused on becoming a better trader. I'm more focused on being better quarter over quarter, month over month, than focusing on the P&L, because I think that's also a trap. You focus too much on the money, it becomes too much about the money. You get too stressed about the money, and you lose sight of getting better. And one of the things I always say is, athletes are not focused on the money. They're focused on getting better, and then the money comes secondarily. The money will come afterwards. The Gucci contracts and the Nike contracts and the Ferrari deals and Rolex deals come after you show that you're good at the game. So money will follow. Just get better at the game. How do I deal with making? I'm just happy if I'm able to extract a lot of value out of the market and perform well, and I could work towards real life goals of buying a house and starting a family. Those are important, not just like material items. But I'm still I'm on my way there. If I wanted to, I could buy a house now, but I don't think I want to take that much money out of the market yet. I think we'll at least see this cycle through, see where we are. But I'm not like trading some kind of size like some of these other guys on CT. I'm not trading millions of dollars. How many trades do you take a week? It depends. Sometimes multiple, sometimes one. It really just depends on what the market's giving me and how much I feel like trading a certain coin. People that know me know that I like trading certain coins a lot. If I can get in rhythm with a coin, I'm going to take a lot of trades on it. And if there's nothing there for me, I won't trade. There's no quota to meet. Some weeks the volume's super high, sometimes it's super low, but I'd say average one a day. Average, I'm opening or closing something at least once a day. But I trade the 4 hour, right? So there's only 6 4-hour candles in a day, which gives you not that many trades. I know people trade minute charts. I'm not about that. What state do you reside in? Nice try, Fed. Nice try. What's your spot versus leverage portfolio division-wise right now? It's a very spot-heavy, sir. That's how it always is. Majority of your cash should always be in spot. Only a nominal amount of your money should be in your portfolio, trying to build more capital for more spots. The way that, perps are is for two things: either for real life, expenses, taking it out, paying your bills, or recycling that money back into spot. Obviously, pay your taxes. But the way that my perp portfolios are for is just building more and more spot. I'm always building an account. I cash the account out. I take some to the bank. I take some to spot. And I'm just looking for opportunities to reinvest into the market from a spot perspective. But no, it's not a big part of my portfolio. It's always a small part of my portfolio. All right, boys, let's wrap it up there. And we will be back probably next Saturday. Let me tease one thing. I've been talking to some other people on joining the stream. We've had Mercury on the channel a whole bunch. So I'm going to probably have Mercury back on. I got to hit him up and see if he wants to come by and stream. But I'm going to be streaming a little bit more often now. And I'll probably have Magus on one of these weeks. We'll shoot the shit with Mags, and then probably Charlie one of these weeks as well, and then Pierre. I hit up Pierre recently. He said he's down. We just got to get the scheduling together, and then we'll have Pierre on the stream where we can pick his brain on how he's seeing markets, because he's been crushing it, but I think he's less and less in the public eye nowadays, where he's just focusing on the Haven, because I think the Haven has grown into a massive powerhouse. I think they have like so many people in there. So he probably can't juggle Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So I don't even see him on the timeline that much anymore. Maybe it's my algo or whatnot. But I want to get him on the stream, get his thoughts for the markets, and then bring the sensei on. So we'll try to schedule that. But we will see you guys later. Thanks for joining. Check out the Woo deal. All of that stuff's in the description box below. All you got to do is sign up, deposit $100, fill up the Google Doc form. The most important part is filling out that Google Doc form. Do that, and I will catch you next week.
The choices you're gonna make, are you sure this is what you want? I pull it from the hands that you gotta shake. Remember the faces that make a break. I think I'll take another way. I'll take another way.